You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart. You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of
love. The face of love.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my
heart. You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of God.
ruh خدایی.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face of
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the face of You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of love.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face
Tu
of
sei la luce di Dio.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
es
God.
l'image de Dieu.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
You are the face
Tu
of
sei
God.
la luz de Dios.
You are the face
You
of
are the face of God.
God. You are the face
Tu
of God.
روح خدایی.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
You are the
Good morning, and welcome to Spiritual Life Center, a church that love is building.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Let us pray. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. And we do, loving Spirit, trust in you. We trust in the Christ of our being, which is the source of each idea, every solution and answer that we need. And we ask that this perfect self that lives within us open our minds and hearts to hear and understand and feel that which is ours to experience, so we might live the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. Gratefully we do pray. Amen.
It is now that my life is mine. I've got this short time on the earth. All my longing has brought me here. All I've lacked and all I've gained. Yet I've always followed heaven. And it took my trust far beyond words. It has shown me a little bit of the heaven I've never found. I want to feel I'm alive all of my living days. I will live as I desire. I want to feel I'm alive, just knowing I was good enough. I have never lost who I was. I have only left it sleeping. Maybe I never had a choice. Just the will to stay alive. All I want is to be happy being me. To be strong and to be free, to see day arise from night. I am here and my life is only mine. And the heaven I thought was there, I'll discover it there somewhere. I want to feel that I lived my life.
I invite you to join me this morning as we turn our hearts, our minds to God. For it is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. So do not fear or be dismayed. The very same infinite presence says, "Behold, I make all things new for you." Oh God, we're here this morning because we wish to be renewed, to be changed, to be lifted up to higher states of being, of consciousness, so that we can become more effective persons here in our visit to this planet. We've tried, each one of us, to fulfill our destiny through our own unaided efforts, and that has never worked. And even when it was working, it was not fulfilling us. For most of us, it was the last resort that we turned to you. And even then, we did not fully believe that you would not fail us, that you would possibly respond to persons as insignificant as we believed ourselves to be. But over and over again, it comes to us that we are not insignificant. We are no more insignificant than the child, the smallest, youngest child, is to its parents. They love that child, and the destiny of that child is important to the parents. The events of the moment, and we are beginning to perceive as through a glass darkly that our lives are equally important to you, and that you have asked us to return to you. Not so much for the religious purposes we have conceived of in the past, but that our true religion is to experience you in our daily lives, to experience your peace, your love, your power, your wisdom that understands things that have confused us. This morning, the thought of change fills us with joy and excitement, because that's what we've come here to do. We have realized that this life that we're living is for stretching our wings so that we can fly higher and farther, faster than we've ever flown before. We look forward to this day. Contained within this day are all of the opportunities that shall be given to any person. And tomorrow will be a day just like it. Each day will be fulfilled with promise, with a possibility for success and happiness. And we make a commitment now that we will draw from this day all that we can grasp within our own minds. And we know that it is by your power that we will be able to understand more, to experience more, and to literally leap over the walls of limitation that have stopped us in the past. We have come here to ask for help and to believe that we are receiving that help. And as we ask, we will receive. Through the power of faith, we believe that a new order is established in every important area of our life. That where there has been a problem, there is now a new order in the form of a solution. Where relationships have disintegrated, there is a new order that is instituted at this moment. This life is my opportunity to be all that I want to be, all that I was destined to be. The past has disappeared because we release it. We forgive all persons for the harm that they did or that we believe that they did. And in forgiving them and ourselves, our past failures suddenly disappear, and in their place are formed the nucleus of fabulous future successes. It all begins with our willingness to be transformed. For the changes that have occurred, and the larger ones yet to come, and with all the power of our being, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And let us close today with this prayer. Today, may there be abiding peace within your heart. May you trust God absolutely, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use these gifts that you have been given and pass on the love that has been yours to give. May you be content knowing that you are a beloved light of God. And now, let God's presence settle into your bones. breathe with me into the oneness that unites our hearts. Allow your soul the freedom to sing and dance and to bask in the sun. And then give thanks for the joy of our united prayers. And now, let us together sing and pray the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
You who dwell in the shelter of the Lord, who abides in his shadow for life, say to the Lord, my refuge, my rock, in whom I trust, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. The snare of the fowler will never capture you, and famine will bring you no fear. Under his wings your refuge, his faithfulness your shield, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. For to his angels he's given a command to guard you in all of your ways. Upon their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand, and hold you in the palm of his hand.
Thank you, Nancy Ingalls, for your beautiful singing. I have long had a sense that I would probably outlast Lenore in this earthly experience, only because she had so many health challenges. But I really never considered what an impact her passing would have on me. It has been profound. There are frequent moments when it all seems unreal, surreal. When I ask myself, is this really happening? Am I imagining this? Often I look up and expect Lenore to be sitting across from me. When you think about it, literally, billions of people have died, so it is not a new phenomenon. Yet this time of moving on is such a sacred experience that it causes those of us close to the loved one to feel an incredible change happening in us and around us. And this shows how impactful our important relationships are. Lenore's passing was just 2 weeks ago today. Yet during this time, I have wanted to be alone most of the time. No socializing, even though typically I'm a pretty social guy. I just want to lie low and let the world go on around me. I've been feeling a heaviness, and I am choosing not to push that heaviness away. I cannot overemphasize the importance of family connection during a time like this, especially. I've been so grateful both during Lenore's time of moving on and since for Lenore's sons who have been ongoing of such an amazing support to their mom. Jim has been here for his mom for years in many ways. And in her final 6 weeks, Jim was with her and I daily. And both Jim and Larry literally moved into our apartment 24/7 for her final 11 days. And my daughter, Julie, and son Mike were also frequently at her side. I've been grateful for the many persons who have reached out with cards, calls, emails, texts to make known their support. I feel such gratitude as I find myself reading these kind, thoughtful messages over and over. And our church family has been incredibly supportive as well. So this has pointed up to me the importance of providing updates to people on how things are going. I find that it is vital for me to maintain my spiritual connection, especially now. I just regularly ask God for strength and guidance. It's a time now when I am reflecting on what an amazing person Lenore was. And this, despite her overwhelming health challenges. Everyone is welcome at a celebration of life service for Lenore upcoming April 27th at 1:30 at the MSU Management Education Center in Troy. It will certainly be a tribute to Lenore, but also a means for myself and others to share our gratitude for Lenore's life. And I'm also seeing it, quite frankly, as a time to begin moving forward. I find myself continuing to reflect on the incredible divine guidance that's been there over many years in so many ways, and I plan to share some of this at the upcoming service. I want to touch on certain aspects or observations of this experience of Lenore's passing over the past couple of months. I think every person would find this helpful. At various times during this experience, I've compared in my mind how the quiet times around Lenore's bedside relate to the divine realm. When it was calm, peaceful, unhurried, no rush, centered, harmonious. Now, it wasn't that way all the time, but when it was, it seemed in a sense to be preparing us for that time that lies ahead in the next realm. I was aware, especially toward the end, of the importance of comforting surroundings, soft music, a pretty picture on the small TV in the corner, her loving teddy bear next to her, pretty pictures, cards, flowers. I mentioned the importance of the loving support of family and friends, but also hospice was so vital. They offered such welcome help and loving kindness. The last 4 days in the hospital, either Jim or Julie or myself stayed with Lenore through the night because the nurses were coming in every couple of hours for testing and probing, and finally it was clear she needed to come home. And Lenore was so grateful to be in her own bed and in our own place. A week before Lenore moved on, she wanted to put on some clothes. So family helped her into a coat she liked, and Jim picked her up, placing her in a wheelchair so she could come out into the living room and look around. From that time on, she was in bed. But it is so important to be prepared for holy moments. I will remember forever her being in bed with her eyes open, and I said with great emphasis, "I love you so." And even though she couldn't speak, she mouthed the words back to me, "I love you so." The importance of touching and kissing and talking with a loved one is so important. During her final several days, Lenore was not responsive. Her eyes were closed, and we had no visible way of knowing if she heard or felt anything. But hospice had told us that she was hearing everything we said, so we were careful not to speak anything we didn't want her to hear. But we also spoke openly and often of our love for her and our gratitude for her in our lives. On that last morning, I was alone with Lenore for an hour or so and spoke of my excitement and gratitude for our lives together. And I summarized the marvelous times we had shared after we first met, and our marriage, and going to ministerial school together, and pioneering the church together in Austin, Texas, and moving back to Michigan and starting up Spiritual Life Center and supporting her mother for 8 years before her mother moved on. And 2 hours later, Lenore breathed her last. Hospice had told us about the importance of letting her know we would be okay and that she was free to move on when the time was right. And when we did this, letting her know we would reconnect with her in the future when she would welcome us home, there was a sense of connection. And I do want to mention the importance of humor in the midst of all this. There was plenty of humor. And so it's important to experience it. A couple of examples. After Lenore had been in the hospital a couple of weeks, I came in one morning just after 8 o'clock, and I was getting on the elevator, and here came 3 hospital emergency folks. And they were on the elevator with me. They seemed anxious, and they got off at the same floor that I was getting off on. And they proceeded down the hall in the direction of Lenore's room, but I couldn't possibly keep up with them. And when I got to the room they were inside the room, but there were several other emergency persons as well. As a matter of fact, there were 10 people in the room beside Jim, who had already arrived, Lenore, and myself. There were 7 staff people in the hospital. And it turns out what had happened was that Lenore needed to go to the restroom. So she had 2 nurses who came in and helped her there. One was at her side assisting her, and the other was pushing the IV stand along behind them. And they got in, and they helped her onto the commode, and all of a sudden the nurses got an emergency notice that another patient needed assistance. So the 2 of them left and said, "We'll be right back." Well, when they got back in a few minutes, here was Lenore on the floor over near the wash basin. And apparently what happened was that she had gotten up to wash her hands, and it means she had pushed her own IV stand along with her over to the wash basin, and they had a little chair there, and she was sitting on the chair, and she had washed her hands, and she noticed this little item on the floor. Well, as long as I've known Lenore, she has never just let anything be on the floor. So she reached down to get this item to throw it in the trash, and she slipped and got on the floor and was not able to get up. Well, there's a protocol in the hospital. This was West Henry Ford, West Bloomfield, and it's a wonderful hospital. We can't say enough good about the people there. And the protocol states that anytime a patient is found on the floor, they must put out an all hospital alert. And so here were people who were coming up, and Lenore in her bed was explaining to them that I really didn't fall. I slipped. The nurses told me I had slipped, and I agree with them. I slipped. I didn't fall. So after all the people moved on, Jim and I were there in the room with Lenore, and I said to her, "My dear, you have a way of attracting a lot of people." And there was a second time when it was the humor just overtook us. And this was when we were at home about a week before Lenore's passing, and Larry was feeding some orange slices to his mom, or at least he intended to. He had asked her if she would like some orange slices because she seemed that the juice was giving her a little sustenance, and these orange slices she seemed to like. And so he said, "Would you like some orange slices, Mom?" And she kind of acknowledged that she would. And he got them and was putting a spoon up to her mouth, and she wasn't opening her mouth. He said, "Mom, you have to open your mouth for me to get the orange slices to you." And so Larry said, "Oh, you changed your mind." And so he said, "Okay." And so she indicated, yes, she did want them. So, "Oh, you changed your mind. Good. Here, you'll really enjoy these." And she was ready for the orange slices, except she didn't open her mouth. And Larry said, "Well, Mom, you have to spread your lips apart for me to get these into your mouth." She didn't. "Oh, you changed your mind." This went on for several minutes. It was like an Abbott and Costello routine. And I was sitting over on the side. And afterwards, I said, "Larry, your mom was playing with you." Oh, I'll always remember that. It is vital to our own well-being, that we have an intelligent perspective of what to expect in our time beyond this earthly experience. My own awareness has been enlightened by a book, Journey of Souls, written a generation ago by Doctor of Psychology and hypnotherapist Michael Newton. Dr. Newton began a research project interviewing and placing under hypnosis a number of persons who had reported of past life experiences. He did obtain a great deal of information about the past lives of people he interviewed, but he became even more fascinated by what people revealed about the spiritual world they encountered in between these past lives. And he found an amazing consistency from virtually all those he interviewed. Everyone under hypnosis reported that following their earthly death, they found themselves in a bright new dimension where they were greeted warmly and welcomed cheerfully. They uniformly described it as beautiful, joyful, harmonious, loving. They immediately felt included. They connected with loved ones from their past. They learned from guides and coaches and felt supported by teachers who were of a more advanced consciousness. It was like a permanently delightful school. There were beginning souls, intermediate souls, and advanced souls, and they described their experience as being active, but without the burden of a body that had at times limited them on earth. They reported that this dimension has no polar opposites, no good and bad, no positive and negative, only positive, only good, only that which is loving, harmonious, helpful, caring, compassionate, kind, and joyful. Now, if we accept this, there is a significant benefit to know that we all have a home of everlasting love that awaits us. This helps us to receive God's presence and power more readily here and now. The awareness that we do belong somewhere is reassuring and offers us peace, not merely as a beacon from conflict, but as a means of unifying us with universal mind. One day we will, each one of us, complete this long journey and reach an ultimate state of enlightenment, which is known as transcendence. Transcendence being a state of consciousness where we are in perfect alignment with the universal presence and power of God. And this is where I know Lenore is headed. In his book, Newton said that in his youth, he had considered himself to be an atheist. His oldest friend as a youngster was to become a Catholic priest. And when they later reflected on their youth, his friends said, it must require great courage to be an atheist because you'd be constantly feeling you were so on your own. Newton says he now has a conviction that order and purpose emanate from a higher consciousness. Newton shared conclusions he has reached based on his studies, and these appear to be mostly in alignment with unity teachings. He states, first, your soul lives eternally. We certainly agree with that. Second, we are divine but imperfect beings who exist in two worlds, material and spiritual. It is our destiny to shuttle back and forth between these two universes while we learn to master ourselves and to acquire wisdom. Third, God does not seem to provide an ultimate state of peace because we are intended always to move forward. But in unity, we believe that we are all in time destined to arrive in that ultimate state of transcendence. I believe this was in Lenore's awareness when, on more than one occasion toward her final days, Lenore stated that she was at peace. A fourth conclusion of Dr. Newton was that we bear responsibility in life for both ourselves and others. So our journey is a collective one. As we place our primary focus on our relationship with God and continually seek God's guidance and support, we are assured a life that is blessed by the grace of Spirit, now and forever.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains.
We are grateful to the children's chorus for this beautiful music, and we are pleased that each of you could join us for this service. We invite you now to join in our prayer of sharing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we would be so grateful for your support of Spiritual Life Center with a donation to this ministry. There are 4 ways to do so. The first is online through our secure website, www.slctroy.com/give. A second way is mail a check to Spiritual Life Center, 41340 Fox Run Road, number 106, Novi, Michigan, 48377. A third way is you may call my cell, 248-925-6214, and speak directly with me, providing credit card information for a one-time charge. A fourth way is to go to the weekly email that we send you every Friday, and in there, in a couple places, you'll see donate now or donate online. We welcome anyone if you're joining us for one of your first times, and we invite you to join our email list by visiting our website, www.slctroy.com, and in the upper right corner, you'll see Join Email List. If you will just click on that, insert your name and email address, we will see that you receive each Friday an email that includes the link to the upcoming Sunday service as well as the link to any upcoming classes. It also has information on the activities of the church that you are welcome to be a part of. If you have a prayer request, send these to ronaldfscott@gmail.com, and we will forward these on to our powerful prayer team. Next Sunday, Reverend Martha will provide the message, and it's always sure to be a powerful one. Today, April 21st, 40 of us will gather at the Baldwin Theater in Royal Oak for the Stagecrafters performance, Children of Eden. Our own Nancy Ingalls is starring in it. If you plan to attend and have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Everyone is welcome to attend a celebration of life service for our dear Lenore this coming Saturday, April 27 at 1:30 p.m. It will be at the Michigan State University Management Education Center, 811 West Long Lake Road in Troy. Immediately following the end of today's service, everyone is invited to join us on Zoom for a time of social connection. The link was in our Friday email. But first, let's join together in our peace song and benediction. God bless.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally.
as you go forth, know that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you.
The Lord bless thee and keep thee.
The power of God protects you.
The Lord make his face to shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee.
The presence of God watches over you.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and grant thee peace.
Wherever you are, God is.
Amen. Amen.
Go your way rejoicing. All is truly well.